Yeah, as we can see, Kalispera mulligan that hex.
Yeah, he threw it away.
Yeah,
so.
a mistake from my side of gaming, because you always want a hex against the druid.
Exactly, Hex is a really great card, and considering if your opponent opens with tons of mana and he throws you this.
Yeah, maybe he can eviscerate a very fast shredder, innervate a very fast shredder in the start, and you can't really deal with the shredder.
And we're having the elemental.
Yeah, elemental come down and trade with the druid of the clock here, and we will see the boom turn that we talked about.
And there you have it. He's going aggressive right now.
Yeah, and do you want to see boom here too for Kalispera, or you want to see Neptulon come on board?
Definitely Neptune, because seeing another boom, he's actually going to trade because he can't get rid of your opponent's boom.
Yeah,
and
but
you could actually play a part of the combo of Savage Roar and do a perfect clear, because if your bombs are 3/3 and hit everything, including the bomb damage.
yeah, but if he plays a Neptulon and Pneumonia has a BGH in his hand, you actually lose all of your tempo.
Again, as we said before, you can't always play against everything. I mean, for example, Kalispera could have a BGH. Imagine if Kalispera had.
Yeah, but Dr. Boom also brings boombots with him.
Boombots, yeah.
Yeah, and boombots are presence. It doesn't really matter if you have
And that's
the big game hand in your hand.
Really interesting, and I think it would make Pneumonia happy.
Yeah,
using an Earthshock just to kill.
Yeah, that was a very standard play. But okay, he will go for the boom now.
Yeah, of course. I would go for a Savage Roar here to deal with Dr. Boom.
You don't actually need that. You can see what you can actually go for the trade your grove into the boom and your one boombot, then swipe the bombs, and then you can develop the shredder
Yeah, that's awesome.
from the druid side. Okay, let's see what Pneumonia will.
Yeah,
will
but
be
I would
there.
go with a swipe play right now. Just the swipe.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it really looks good here.
That power mace, I'm quite sure of Kalispera is wearing right now.
Yeah, and with the
you want that in the
the
start.
power mace can really boost boombots.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's gonna be fun if actually we both can see how much he can actually clear everything and set something really good for him. But if a simple boombot stays up, which one?
Yeah, I think that boombot will not live to see another day. Actually, I would love to see the grove trade first, because if his boombot kill his boombot and the boombot kill the grove, it would be very bad.
The boombot hit there and the boombot hit in the face. So we're going to see where the boombot is actually going to hit. If it would be face, it would be really good.
Okay.
Okay.
A clear board, the shredder comes down, and now it's the turn to play the second fire elemental, I think, right?
Yeah. You definitely need to play the fire elemental here.
You can Earthsong and play the fire elemental, and then your opponent. Okay, he's going risky for that.
Yeah, actually, I think he wants to force some damage to your opponent. If the Taunt Totem won't come here, it could be a good way to use the combo. No, you're not.
No, you can lock the board, so you can use the combo the next round. If the weaponsmith buffs State of Naxxramas right now, it will be very good. But give the attack damage on the Loatheb, it's also good.
Yeah, because you're forcing your opponent to get rid
to deal with the Loatheb with his fire elemental.
It's really fun right now. The only things
you
can play.
You can hex too, I think, actually.
Yeah, but is it worth it? He's not going for Hex. I think he's going for Neptulon.
And the trade, yeah.
He's swearing probably inside of him that he didn't got the Taunt Totem here. Some interesting Murlocs appeared.
Yeah, I can see.
We're having the combo on the next turn.
Yeah, I see the epic Murloc, I think, the Battlestomber. Okay, Sylvanus is not very good there, because we know that the Hex is on Kalispera's hand right now. So you go with the Belcher, trade the 1/1 and just go face, right?
Yeah, you're going for definitely you're playing Belcher here. you want inside of you. You know he's probably gonna have a hex at some point, so you'd rather give him a belcher, which is actually really good because you trade the
Yeah,
taunt
because
with the
you have
taunt.
see one hex
Exactly.
you
So
haven't
if
seen a
you play
hex,
the other one,
and you have see Nersa played in the early game.
this is really gonna be interesting. I mean, you can actually develop.
Okay, that buff was actually very good
Indeed.
for Pneumonia now. Let's see Kalispera stand here.
I think he has 10.
What's
cards.
what's your options here? You gonna trade Nebulon with a Belcher and then add the Power Mace and trade the 1/2. But what do you play? You play Wolves after that?
Yeah, you definitely need to play Wolves. You know your opponent. I mean, you have a combo,
Yeah.
and you know the game.
He also has a Bloodstone Warrior, so
Yeah.
maybe he can play the Bloodstone Warrior to trade with a
He is going to.
with a little Daunt and then Power Mace the Weaponsmith. But damage your Nebulon in 3 HP, it's actually really bad.
Yeah, because he can actually trade with almost everything. He can even swipe him.
Yeah.
There's
of course.
another swipe there.
Okay, we see the Murloc plays.
Ah,
Many
yeah.
Lolos come in the board.
And the cold lights here.
Okay, I really like that play here. That's a Murloc
And
summon
you
actually.
have it.
Oh, Scenarios was a very good top deck here.
Yeah, and you're definitely going for the taunt. You're putting 2 taunts down there, you're damaging 1 in the
But
face.
yeah, you play around. You don't play around Bloodlust.
He has seen his deck, I told you before. He was watching the game, he was scouting him.
Yeah,
so-
but maybe he cheat. You know.
Yeah,
maybe
if
there's a
you actually change the
maybe,
deck.
Yeah, maybe there is a Bloodlust in his deck now.
Would be fun actually if there was a Bloodlust.
We see a.
I would support the Bloodlust in this deck with
With
Nebulon
Nebulon.
inside. Yeah.
Actually, look how many Murlocs have. Yeah, board is full of Murlocs actually right now.
Indeed.
He has if he had an epic Murloc, it would be fantastic.
Yeah, you mean the old Morcat?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be actually fun.
So what's the play now? You can play the combo and clear the board, but that's not a winning play.
No, you're just, in my opinion, you're just putting scenarios with 2 tones there.
You can play.
Yeah,
You can play scenarios for buff and go face. Actually,
She's trading Neptune.
because if you buff with the
Why would you trade Neptune?
Yeah, if you buff your minions with the scenarios right now and go face, you go all in.
Yeah,
Because you are already back in this game.
yeah, I really think that was a really bad play. I mean, it's been a while since I actually saw so many Murlocs giving value here.
But we will see the Murlocs trade these trees.
This is really interesting.
And he has also the.
Of course, he has a
spirit-
Murloc that every Murloc dies, you draw a card. So
Yeah, the spirit wall here.
he's gonna have a blast right now.
He's a summoner Murloc.
But yeah, I've killed so many Murlocs and wow, I hate you and I hate them all. Really do. So we're going to see
A board clear here.
a board clear and some cards being drawn.
Actually, one card I think only.
And there's a Hearthstone.
Oh, not two because we have the Blue Warrior too. Yeah, you want to
You can
draw
actually
that.
get 3 cards if you go with a 2/4/4. Yeah.
You will trade
The
that.
second card and the 4/3 to the 5/4. As I said, 3 cards.
Yeah,
And the farm is here just because
Yeah.
it can. And
Yeah,
yeah, there you go.
I don't think Zombitsu is good here. Actually, why to play Zombitsu? You don't need it.
Well, you know your opponent even if he kills it. I mean, think.
Oh,
it's-
Hearthstone Zombitsu
yeah,
is very good
it's a
here.
top deck and it's a definite play.
Yeah, and and the second top deck
And another
in a
top
row.
deck. It's a top deck game right now. Hearthstone Zone is sitting on
Yeah,
the top right.
he's sitting in the end.
I got him as a follower in World of Warcraft, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah,
He doubles the gold you get in the missions you're doing with him.
yeah.
I wish he was
I
doing
think
that.
Hearthstone take a selfie there.
Yeah. There's a selfie machine.
Yeah, he
Well,
died
also,
actually.
and he actually died. Our administration team here
Yeah.
actually just killed Harrison Jones.
Yeah, rest in peace, Harrison.
Request in patch. Oh my god. Seriously. See, this is why I like and hate someone. I mean, you've actually destroyed him at some point. and
You know, I always said that a good summon hand is the most cancer hand from the classes you can play in a Hearthstone.
yeah, indeed, I agree. I wouldn't use that word though, but yeah, it's really annoying. Let's see here. I really think that considering
Hex and Silver.
Hex and Sylvanas, you can actually Architect the 4-3 and take him like I'll take.
You
it
can
for-
clear the whole board with
Yeah, I would actually Architect the 4-3 because the Doomsayer here would be fun. And boom, the game's over.
Yeah, the
game's
game's over.
over.
Yeah, Druid can come back from that board.
Yeah,
can cycle.
please don't wild growth. Just, I mean, unless you have Tree of Life or something, even if Tree of
Or
Life
Deathwing.
or Deathwing, yeah. And so, even if you have Deathwing, what are you gonna do? Like, destroy your opponent and then that.
You play Deathwing and Deathwing becomes a frog. It's okay. It's a fair trade.
Indeed. Let's see. Oh boy, boy.
Can Druid come back in this matchup?
No, you can't.
Only with double MC tech, maybe.
Yeah. As I said, no, you can't. Games also. Kalispera actually played really great this turn.
Yeah, I know Kalispera is a summon master actually.
yeah. He's the only player actually here in Greece that I have seen admit.
Yeah,
that
he play.
summons
He's a stable summon player in tournaments.
He throws Sylvanas also just for the kicks, or Harrison Jones.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter now.
Yeah.
It's just on the presence.
Indeed, but in my opinion, he should just Pneumonia should just concede. I mean, it's not nice to concede, but the game's been over from the previous turn.
I never conceded in any card games actually. I played it to the end.
Yeah, it's a nice thought, but sometimes the great players know when to back down. And we're gonna have a set of wonderful set of Naxxramas.
And I think Pneumonia will concede here because
You think, but you never concede.
yeah,
Just
but
sit here and get.
yeah, but he has little on board actually.
Yeah,
Or you can use the combo to clear, but you can't win after.
yeah, because you lose your combo. I mean, he's definitely going to clear, which I really don't know. Well played. So.
He maybe can go summon to fatigue. How many cards left to Kalispera's deck?
For every time Kalispera rolls a taunt token, the game is just over.
Yeah. He
Means
has six
what are you
cards.
gonna do? Yeah, you play MC Tech and you take his Sylvanas.
Yeah, and you win.
perfect. Innovate. Congratulations.
Innervate into concede.
Yeah, Pneumonia says well played.
Yeah.
He concedes the game. He is
We
the
have
winner.
3-2 for Kalispera's
3-2
side.
for Kalispera. Most of his games have been on 5 matches. I mean,
Yeah, it was 3-2 I think.
we have great matches lately, and
Okay, and we're back. We've seen a very good series here.
it's a really great game. We are going to see Kalispera, if I'm not mistaken, on the next game. We're gonna stream Kalispera.
Yeah, I think we can see Kalispera play against Joker, I think. I'm not really
It's Joker, it's Joker, yeah?
Yeah, it's Joker, and it will be the final of the loser bracket.
It's a final of the loser bracket, which is still the same format.
Yeah, best of
So-
5 conquest mode. So, we'll take a break now, and we will be
We'll be
back
here
with
the final
yeah,
of the loser
of the loser
bracket.
bracket. Yeah, in a
Stay
moment.
tuned.
So stay tuned. Right.
Okay guys, so welcome back. I'm Nick Bulbasakos, your host for this last two matches. So we're right now in the finals of the losers bracket, and we have Elysium Gaming's own Kalispera against, if I'm not mistaken, Joker, who was defeated by Koopa Troopa on the stream. We saw Joker in a previous game. He's a very good player, kind of a greedy one, but yeah. So it should be good. It should be a good matchup. Both players to take their time. They think a lot. So we're gonna actually be able to watch a very nice game. Now both players are ready. So we're gonna jump straight into the game and see what classes they chose to begin this losers semifinals match with. So yeah, right now a few words. If you enjoyed the show, thank you all for being here, and if you enjoyed the show, make sure to check our social media. We do host a lot more tournaments, and we have a Hearthstone team that and our players stream a lot. So yeah, you can get a taste of what's it to actually stream. So yeah, let's jump straight into the matchups, into the match. So we have Kalispera. Against with Demon Lock against Joker's Rogue. So right now what we're gonna do is, okay, basically if I had to speculate, I would have to say that I'm really positive that Kalispera has an okay matchup, like not so good as the original Handlock would have, but an okay matchup. Now, of course, the matchup isn't good because his opponent can actually answer whatever he's trying to do. So, yeah. So right now we see Kalispera. He's played Mistress of Pain, and Joker doesn't really have a productive turn, so he's just gonna hero power and pass the turn. Kalispera is gonna attack with his Mistress of Pain. He's gonna get some life back, and yeah, pass the turn back to Joker, who has an Alexstrasza in his Rock deck, and I do really like the sound of that. Like, the rock that is used by Joker is actually a greedy one, so we'll see him play some cards like Assassin Blade plus Dr. Boom plus Alexstrasza, so it's a heavier rogue. It has a lot of late game potential, and he has served Joker very neatly so far. So yeah, let's see if he can if he can go even further. So a Dark Bomb from Kalispera and a Ruby Egg, and he passes the turn back to Joker, who's gonna play Violet Teacher, and let's see if he wants to prep. Don't think he wants to prep right here. I believe that next turn he's gonna go Assassin's Blade, Coin, Deadly Poison, and just keep pressuring his opponent's life total. I don't really think you want to sap the Nerubian Egg right now, even if your opponent has a buff for the Nerubian Egg, like he would need like two cards like Power Overwhelming plus the Abusive Surgeon in order to be able to kill your Violet Teacher, or a Power Overwhelming and a Mortal Coil. So yeah, I don't think he wants to do anything else. It's most likely he's gonna pass his turn. So let's see. Don't think I'm client back the nest. So yeah. Okay, he's gonna rob now. Okay, I do believe that. No, the client is not begging. He was just thinking. Okay, he wanted to use his whole turn in order to think. So that's really nice. Okay, so the turn goes back. Kalispera draws a card, and he can implosion if he wants, but I don't think this is the kind of play he wants to do. So maybe we will see him draw a card and go from here, go from there. So yeah, let's see what he will choose to do. So right now Kalispera will life tap, and he will find a Void Caller, which is not gonna be useful this turn. He's gonna pass the turn back to Joker, who I believe is gonna equip a weapon and coin a deadly poison and actually have a living fireball. Actually, double pyroblast, yeah, if you could say so, double pyroblast. It's a really interesting turn from Joker right now. If he wants, he can backstab the egg, then Assassin's Blade, coin Deadly Poison and kill the Nerubian. That is actually a valid play right now. So yeah, he's gonna do exactly that. And he's gonna use he's gonna equip an Assassin's Blade, then coin out the Deadly Poison and hit the Nerubian. He's gonna go face with the Violet Teacher and pass the turn back to Kalispera, who is who most likely doesn't have a good way to deal with that board. So yeah, he's gonna go face, and Kalispera's gonna find another Mistress of Pain, and I don't see how Kalispera can come back from this. He can play Sylvanas, but Joker is most likely gonna sap his opponent Sylvanas. And yeah, he's gonna play Void Caller and the Mistress of Pain, and he's gonna pass the turn. And Kalispera is gonna draw and find an Ethering Farseer, which will allow him to damage and then heal his own Violet Teacher. So Kalispera is Joker is thinking about potential ways to trade. He's thinking about using sap, and he's gonna sap the Void Caller, create another Violent Apprentice, and most likely trade a token and the Violet Teacher with the Mistress of Pain. So yeah, he's gonna give Kalispera some life points, but he's gonna keep control of the board. Alternatively, he can ignore the Mistress of Pain. However, that is very dangerous because leaving any monster on the board can actually lead to a big turn for Kalispera, where he power overwhelmings and then uses Shadow Flame. So yeah, he's gonna use his weapon to do so, giving Kalispera only 1 point of health. And he's gonna go face with the rest and use a Farseer to heal himself. No, he's not gonna use a Farseer. Okay, he's gonna keep the Farseer. He believes the 4 tokens and the Violet Teacher to be enough. Let's see if he's correct right now. So Kalispera is gonna draw. He finds an Abusive Sergeant, and what Kalispera has to be afraid of is if he takes a turn off to play Dr. Boom, then okay, can my opponent kill me? But the thing is that he doesn't have any better plays, so yeah, Dr. Boom it is. And Joker draws a Fan of Knives, and he should really attack with the tokens first. Like, most definitely he should attack with the tokens first. I'm sure this will result in some it resulted in a point of damage lost. So, but you know, he managed to keep the board clear, and it's really interesting because Joker keeps using the dagger as a means of removing all the big threats that Kalispera throws down. So very efficient use of his weapon, and he has an Alexstrasza in his hand that I'm not sure that he will be able to play, given how the life total for both players have been in the past few turns. So yeah, Kalispera really, with nothing in play, he can use Void Caller, Shadow Flame, and have a Jaraxxus on the board, but that means that he can no longer heal himself with such Jaraxxus. Now, okay, so tricky thing to notice is that if Jaraxxus is taunted, then there's no way for Joker to remove Jaraxxus right now. So yeah, he's gonna go face with the Violet Teacher and use the Athens Ring to heal the Violet Teacher, and most likely pass the turn. I cannot see him. Yeah, you can see that in his face. He doesn't want to Blade Flare right now just to get a token on the board. And right now Kalispera is gonna try his luck with an Implosion, targeting the Farseer. Okay, so he's gonna roll a 4, then use Abusive Sergeant on the Jaraxxus, and take out the Violet Teacher and taunt both token and the Jaraxxus. Yeah. No, abusive sergeant and Jarek. So yeah, really nice play by him. And Kalispera is gonna find a Joker is gonna find a Gadgets and Auctioneer, and this is actually a really huge start for him because he will be able to refill his hand, maybe find better spells to play. So he's gonna go prep, and into Blade Flare he cannot sprint, so he has to play the Blade Flare right now. And Jaraxxus is actually, with 13 health, Jaraxxus is one of the bigger taunters in the game at the moment. He's gonna find a deadly poison. Unfortunately, he will not be able to. He will be able to use that, but still, he will not be able to take care of Jaraxxus. And he'll find he cycles the poison, finds a fan of knives, and I guess he's forced to pass the turn with his opponent left with only 6 health at the moment. Okay, so as a fan of knives and the sprint, he needs to find a way to deal same amount of damage. So Kalispera is gonna play Sylvanas and most likely a Void Caller and pass the turn. He doesn't want to life tap because that would put him dead to an Eviscerate. So Joker is gonna take a draw, finds another Blade Flare. Let's see if he can find an Eviscerate. He has 2 Eviscerates in his deck. I believe he has another prep as well, so let's see if he takes a turn off in order to sprint and try to find an Eviscerate to end the game in, the duration of 2 turns. He's gonna use a Fan of Knives first, finds a Nedwin Von Cleef, and then he's gonna sprint. So he finds Preparation. So right now, finds a Sabotage, finds a Sap. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, Kalispera has Lethal on his next turn. He can actually prep the Blade Flare right now, yeah. Or prep the Blade Flare later, so what Joker will... Joker can prep the Blade Flare, yeah. So what Joker will actually do is, on his following turn, he's gonna use Preparation, Blade Flare, clear his opponent's board, and then go face with a new dagger, then finish his opponent off with an SI agent. So yeah, that's gonna do it, and Joker is gonna win the match. He even has an Eviscerate, so yeah, it's fine. It's game over at this point. So yeah, he's gonna sap Jaraxxus, SI agent, Eviscerate his opponent's face. Okay, he's gonna go for the little BM finish. Oh, not BM finish, just the regular finish. So Joker is gonna take the first game of this best out of 5 Conquest series, and he will be up 1 game ahead. He will not be able to use his Orc again, and let's see how let's see what Joker's next deck is gonna be. So right now I'm pretty sure Kalispera is not feeling that confident, but he gets to use his Demon Lock again. Demon Lock, one of the premier decks at the tournament at the moment. So, yeah. Let's see how Joker is gonna respond to whatever he thinks Kalispera is gonna choose next. Okay. So yeah, right now both players are ready and they are going into game 2, and we have Kalispera again on with his Demon Lock against Joker's Salmon. So right now the difference between the traditional handlock and this version of Warlock, which is Demon Lock, is that basically Demon Lock takes a page out of a Zoo build. He has low drops. Kind of like Warrior has the Armorsmith, Demon Lock has the Mistress of Pain, so as an early drop that's gonna get him some life. So yeah, Kalispera is gonna start the game with a Mistress of Pain, and he's gonna pass the turn to Joker, who is gonna draw a Zombie Chow. Let's see if Joker wants to play said Zombie Chow and actually threaten to efficiently trade with the Mistress of Pain. Kalispera is gonna find the answer in the form of an Abusive Sergeant, who I believe is gonna use to kill off the Zombie Chow. So let's see if he wants to draw first. He life taps, finds a Thalnos, and then uses Abusive Sergeant to trade with the Zombie Tail. So he's gonna give back 2 life, 7 life if he could, because of the death rattle ability on the Zombie Tail, and it's gonna pass the turn. Joker is gonna play a Feral Spirit, and yeah, ship the turn back to Kalispera, who will actually have a hard time answering those Spirit Wolves. Now he can use Defender of Argus, which is not really that useful, considering the fact that only Abusive Sergeant will be able to trade with one of the wolves. So yeah, so right now he will not really be able to do anything else at this moment. So he's gonna be forced to use Abusive Sergeant. He's gonna trade, Defender of Argus. He's gonna trade Abusive Sergeant with one of the Spirit Wolves, and Mistress of Pain is gonna leave one of the Spirit Wolves with just 1 point of health. Now it's back to Joker, and what Joker will try to do is, gain back some of the momentum that he lost in the previous turn. He's gonna trade the Wolf with the Mistress of Pain, Rockbiter weapon, and trade the Defender of Argus, and pass the turn back to Kalispera, who is gonna have a turn 5 with an empty board. He's going to life tap. He finds a Nerubian Egg and has to decide between playing the Mistress of Pain and the Nerubian Egg. He chooses the Nerubian Egg since he has a power overwhelming in his hand, which combos really nicely with the Nerubian Egg. So Joker is gonna play an Azure Drake. He's gonna draw a card, finds a Flame Totem, and he's gonna coin out a spell an upgraded Earthshock, which is gonna take care of the egg. A very smart play by Joker, since he is willing to leave no bodies on the board for Kalispera to take advantage of his buff spell. So Kalispera is gonna use Bloodmaid Stalnos and actually use Implosion with which are all slow. He has 2 results that would actually kill the Drake, and he doesn't manage to kill him, and Joker spams that sorry that happened emote. So let's see if Joker wants to Lightning Storm this turn and roll a totem. Yeah, he's gonna roll a totem and try to roll a spell, a healing totem. Yeah, that's actually really nice. He's gonna Lightning Storm, get the imps and the Blood Maids out of the board, and keep pressuring his opponent with the Azure Drake that survived the previous turn. Kalispera is gonna draw and finds Morganis for his turn. He's gonna play Dr. Boom and ship the turn back to Jokers, who cannot play Neptulon due to the overload, and I'm not really sure how he plans on answering that Dr. Boom. So let's see. If he wants to play Feral Spirits, then maybe yes. He can actually Flame Turn Totem and trade both the Healing Totem and the Azure Drake with Dr. Boom, and then play Feral Spirits after that. I'm guessing this is not that bad of a play, and it's solely an option. Now, another thing that he can do is play the Flame Turn Totem and the Feral Spirits, and then go face with the Drake and the Healing Totem. Since his opponent's Warlock deck does not play any Molten Giants, there is no risk in reducing your opponent's life total below a certain amount. Okay, so he's gonna go ahead and trade with Dr. Boom, pass the turn, and Kalispera finds an antique heal bot, but let's see if Kalispera wants to use his turn playing a heal bot and maybe trading some of the bombs, or if he wants to use the power overwhelming in conjuration with Shadow Flame. So you're gonna start by drawing a card, finds a Void Caller. That's a perfect target for a Shadow Flame, and I do believe that what he's gonna do is play the Void Caller and play the Mistress of Pain, play the Void Caller, and pass his turn. No, okay, he's gonna try and get some free kills with the bombs. He succeeds in the first one, and he's gonna succeed in the second one. And a really nice turn by for Kalispera, who is gonna now have the opportunity to play all of his demons on an empty board. So he's gonna play the Void Caller and the Mistress of Pain. Now that means that if Void Color dies, there's a 50% chance that Mal'Ganis gets summoned, or worst case scenario, Void Color gets summoned. So Totemic Call is gonna give Joker a Stoneclaw Totem, not the worst choice, but it's actually pretty good right now. And he's debating between playing a Kazan Mystic or Pilot Shredder. I'm sure that Shredder is the better option right now. So Kalispera draws a Doomguard for his turn, and is holding a hand of, is holding a hand that can do a lot of things. The thing is that he can actually play the Void Walker and then play Shadow Flame on his Void Caller, and actually get either Mal'Ganis or Doomguard out of this. Okay, so let's see if he will opt to go for this play. Now right now, if anything problematic comes out of the Pilot Shredder, he can always use Power Overwhelming and try to finish that off. Now the worst case scenario would be Pilot Shredder spawning Doomsayer and Kalispera not getting a Doomguard on the field. So let's see how Kalispera plans to play that. So no, I'm really sorry. Even if he gets Mal'Ganis on the board, he can still clear the Doomsayer. Yeah, I see no reason not to Shadow Flame. So he's gonna play Mal'Ganis, and let's see if he did he make the attack? Okay, he's just gonna play Mal'Ganis, make some trades, and pass the turn back to Joker, who I believe is forced to hex Mal'Ganis because he cannot attack any other guy first. Okay, so Joker is gonna hex Mal'Ganis and most likely trade with Mal'Ganis and play Manatite Totem plus Totemic Call. Okay, so here's another Stoneclaw Totem. And Joker is thinking about playing the Kazan Mystic, and I cannot, fault him for that. Kazan Mystic is at least a body that can contest the board at this stage of the game. So right now the choice is between Manatite Totem and Kazan Mystic. So I'm really in favor of the Manatite Totem because it will help you find more answers and stay on par with your opponent's board. Now, however, playing a Kazan Mystic while you have a Stoneclaw Totem out in that in that board situation means that your opponent cannot efficiently trade with one of your 4 attack minion. But you have to be aware that your opponent hasn't used one of his AoE spells yet. So I think this is the turn where Kalispera is gonna play his Void Watcher and actually use Shadow Flame. He's gonna start his turn by drawing a card, finds a big game hander that I'm really sure will be happy to use against Neptulon. And right now, I believe that he will Shadow Flame his Void Watcher. Now, Void Watcher is an interesting minion because it creates interesting scenarios where you can actually cheat a lot of mana into play, and there's a merit into keeping it alive for sure. Like, the longer you keep a Void Caller alive, the more value he's gonna get. Like, your opponent does not want to kill the Void Caller unless he has an answer for whatever demon you have in your hand. So Void Caller is gonna go unopposed most of the time. And yeah, Loatheb is a really nice option, and unfortunately for Kalispera, Joker has a way to trade efficiently with Loatheb. He can Defender of Argus against Pilot Shredder, and Kalispera is gonna use Dark Bomb to take care of Kazan Mystic and attack phase with the Mistress of Pain, if I'm not mistaken. What he's thinking about? Okay, that's a nice one. He uses Mistress of Pain to trade into the Pilot Shredder, and I'm not really sure why. Okay, he's playing around Mind Control Tech. That's my only explanation at this point. And it is true that Mind Control Tech has a 50% chance to snatch a relevant target. So I guess, yeah, props to him for playing around that card. Now on Joker's turn, he has the option of playing Neptulon plus whatever Murloc Neptulon will grant him. So let's see if he does that. gonna play Neptulon, and Neptulon is gonna add 4 random Murlocs to his hand, and they are not the best ones, to be honest. He can play Tidehander and Raider, but that's not gonna do much. So he rolls a Searing Totem, plays a Tidecaller, and passes the turn to Kalispera, who will gladly use a Big Game Hunter to take care of Neptulon. Now, of course, let's see if no, he doesn't have lethal. No way, he has lethal, right? Yeah, no. Okay, he's gonna play a second Voidcaller, and let's see if he chooses to draw first, or if he wants to use a Big Game Hunter this turn. He doesn't want. He seems to really be slow rolling this Shadow Flame, and let's see if it will win him the game. I don't know how many copies of Shadow Flame he plays in his deck, so maybe he just plays one and really wants to conserve that. Okay, so let's see what else he's gonna do. He's thinking about Power Overwhelming. Okay, so he's gonna use Power Overwhelming to trade with Neptulon, and he's not. He's gonna use Shadow Flame. Okay, he's gonna use Shadow Flame, clear his opponent's board, get a Doomguard out, and hit his opponent for 10. Now let's see if Joker can respond to that, which I don't think he can. He needs to. I don't know what he in top deck at this point, but the damage that his opponent can deal is massive, especially when you give him so many cards to work with. So he's gonna Earthshock the Voidcaller, but that doesn't really do anything at this point in the game. So he's gonna Earthshock the Voidcaller, and he's gonna pass the turn to Kalispera, who finds a Rubian Egg, and if I'm not mistaken, has 11 damage on the board, 15 with the Abusive Sergeant, and it's actually lethal with the top deck Hellfire. So Kalispera is gonna even the score 1-1 with his Demon Lock. Well played by Joker, and yeah, if I'm not mistaken, players are even at this point in the game. Okay, so let's see what deck Kalispera is gonna bring next, as both players are 1-1, and as you can see, those are not easy matches. Like, those are matches where a lot of thought goes into every move, and players do not want to lose actually, and that's really great because we get to to bring you some really exciting matches. I hope you guys like that, and once again, as we're waiting for the players to begin, I would like to thank once again our sponsors: Battle.net Pevkaya, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cardmarket.eu, eFantasy.gr, Quick Gaming Universe, and WizNet Station. I hope I didn't forget anybody. So very big thanks to all of our sponsors who made those Blizzcon events possible. Now let's jump straight into the next game, as we have Joker against Kalispera. Joker is playing his Druid deck, which apparently has Tosley in it, against Kalispera's Oil Rock deck. So Joker is gonna go first. There's no side of Wild Growth into his opening hands. He's gonna pass the turn and hope to draw a Wild Growth, and he does. Okay, that's a skill in itself, some people say. So yeah, Wild Growth is gonna be activated by Joker. He's gonna ramp his mana by 1, and he's gonna pass the turn to Kalispera, who finds a Loatheb with apparently no good turn 3 plays. He has a Pilot Shredder in his hand, which I'm pretty sure he will coin out next turn. But right now, Joker cannot really capitalize on the mana, of the extra mana that he has, because he doesn't want to play a Keeper of the Groove on an empty board, and he cannot play, basically anything else. So let's see if Kalispera wants to actually coin out Pilot Shredder at this point in the game. Yeah, no, it seems like he does, yeah. Okay, he's gonna coin out a Pilot Shredder, and pass the turn back to Joker, who finds a Sunfury Protector, another, another relic of, an older version. Like, if I'm not mistaken, Sunfury Protector was used in, mid-range Druid like a couple of seasons back, and I don't really know how useful it is nowadays. I imagine that it allows you to play, fewer taunts, maybe play less than two slot builders. Most druids do that, and can actually give you a taunt when you least expect that, like turn minions like Sylvanas and Dr. Boom into taunts against matchups like against mech mates, for example. I can see some Fury Protector actually being very useful now that I think about it. Okay. So right now Kalispera is gonna damage his opponent's face with an Nerubian Weblord, and he's thinking about playing a naked SI agent, and he's gonna do so. Let's see if he wants to attack with his dagger. He doesn't, and he passes the turn back to Joker, who has the option of playing as Sylvanas, and yeah, he's gonna use all of his mana playing Sylvanas, pass the turn back to Kalispera, who finds a sap, and he cannot play any of his Azure Drakes because of the Weblord. So Kalispera can suicide his whole board plus a dagger attack in order to trade Sylvanas and then play an Azure Drake. And I'm thinking that is his intention. Yeah, he's gonna suicide his whole board. Sylvanas is gonna steal nothing, and Kalispera has an empty board which he can play Azure Drake into. Now, if Joker wants to clear the Azure Drake, he needs to play a swipe, which we know he doesn't have, and he opts for the better play, which is play Dr. Boom against Rogue. And it's actually really difficult for Rogue to deal with Dr. Boom because Dr. Boom, you cannot sap Dr. Boom. I mean, there was never a Rogue who sapped Dr. Boom and was happy about it. And you can Blade Flurry, maybe eviscerate the Dr. Boom. Like, you're gonna have to use 2 cards in order to get rid of Dr. Boom, no matter what. So yeah, here we're gonna see Kalispera. He's gonna use Backstab to deal 3 damage to Dr. Boom. And let's see if he wants to use his Tinker Oil. Now, he can use Tinker Oil plus Eviscerate. Now, problem being that if he doesn't equip a new dagger, then that means that he's only gonna get 1 charge, so he has to choose whether he wants to either clear the Drake. I'm not really sure how he's supposed to follow this up. Okay, he's gonna trade a bomb. He can trade a bomb, then play Loatheb, I guess. Yeah, okay, that's an option. Play Loatheb, I guess, and pass the turn back to Joker, who is gonna find an Azure Drake of his own. Draws a card, finds an Innovate, which he cannot play, and right now he's gonna use some Fury Protector, and he's gonna turn 2 of his guys into taunts, which is actually really important. So Kalispera is gonna draw for his turn, and he has Blade Flurry. Doesn't have a dagger equipped, which will prevent him from any potential, clear that he may have. He's using Deadly Poison, and he's gonna go ahead and use Deadly Poison on Thalnos and clear his opponent's whole board with Blade Flurry. And Thalnos is gonna get killed. He's gonna draw an extra card. He finds a Fan of Knives, and he's go face with the Loatheb. Really neat plays by Kalispera, actually. And his Loatheb is gonna get answered by his opponent's Loatheb, and the turn will go back to Kalispera, who is gonna use his mana playing Keeper of the Groove and actually set up lethal with Druid of the Claw on the next turn. So Kalispera is, Joker. Yeah, Joker is gonna set up lethal on the next turn, and there's really nothing that Kalispera can do apart from trading the Loatheb. But even if he trades, what Joker is gonna do is, okay, he has Shade of Doxarans. He cannot play the Shade into a field that has Drake in it. So yeah, because any potential Fan of Knives actually kills the Shade. Okay, so let's see what Joker wants to do. Maybe he wants to repopulate his board in order to get another shot at clearing, comboing out without having a Savage Roar. Now, I guess that it would be to his best interest if he could actually, get rid of his opponent's Drake, but that would mean sacrificing a potential 4 charge damage into an Azure Drake, so it's not an easy option, and I'm pretty sure Joker is now counting what his remaining draws are. So he's gonna use, he's thinking about using the Druid of the Claw. I think it's correct to use the Druid of the Claw that way. So yeah, he takes out the, let's see if he goes face actually, because it's a really valid play to go face. He's gonna use his hero power, hit the rock in the face, and then do the same with the Keeper of the Groove, and he has to figure out if he wants to trade or not. So he takes the trade. Cat is traded for Azure Drake, and Kalispera draws a Tinker Oil for his turn. Really close game, to be honest. So Kalispera is gonna use most likely preparation into a sprint, and then try and find the South Sea deckhand. Let's see. He's gonna prep sprint, and he will draw into a second Blade Flare, which is really important, the South Sea deckhand, and a Deadly Poison. Okay, another sap. So now, no matter what happens, you can. Okay, you're not dead to combo, but what you have to do in order to not die to the combo is actually waste your Blade Flare. Yeah, this is a really difficult turn because, okay, say you waste your Blade Flare, then you're not dead to the combo. You know your opponent doesn't have the combo because you left him with 2 bodies on the board, and then he's 1 body on the board, and then he still couldn't kill you actually. So yeah, I'm not really sure though your opponent has the combo though. He plays the Deadly Poison, and he has to. Okay, so he's gonna deal 3 damage to the Druid's face and use a Blade Flare. Okay, use a Blade Flare to take care of 2 of the Druid's guys. Both players have 16 life, and Kalispera cannot die to a combo, but at the same time Joker is safe because 2 of the Blade Flares are already spent for Kalispera. So Joker is gonna use his hero power, plays 2 guys, and basically threatens lethal on the next turn. And yeah, Kalispera doesn't really have a way to get rid of both these guys, not having anything else to actually work with other than the Fan of Knives. Maybe he can sub both guys. This is actually a solid option now that I think of it. His opponent has 16 life, so even if he uses double oil, he cannot do it. So I guess his best bet would be to play Violet Teacher, then use sap twice and equip a weapon. Don't think he wants to Fan of Knives. Okay, he's gonna use Fan of Knives. Okay, he's gonna use Fan of Knives. He's gonna use sap, and he's gonna sap a Yeti if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and then he is actually dead to. He's dead to the combo still, but that was already known. So, and Shade of Noxamas is gonna come out, and I'm guessing Kalispera wants to clear the tokens. Clears 1 token and goes face, and he passes the turn back to. I'm sorry, Joker wants to clear the tokens, but he passes the turn back to Kalispera, who is going to equip a dagger, and let's see if he chooses to actually risk the oil falling onto one of the tokens that will come into play this turn. So right now it's a very difficult turn for Kalispera because Violet Teacher makes it so awkward, because if you are gonna play a spell first, then that creates 1 token because you need to combo oil with something. So the spell creates a token, so there's now a 33% chance that oil is gonna buff a minion that you will not be able to attack this turn. And if you play the oil, then teacher creates another token, and that actually creates a 50% chance that he's gonna have a target which you cannot buff. Let's see. I think he needs to play the second oil and hope that it hits 2 out of 5 chances, and he hits. Okay, and let's see if he will. Is it lethal? Yeah, it's exact lethal. Whoa! And Kalispera is gonna win this game. Really amazing with his rogue. Defying the odds. First it was a 50% chance to hit something that actually couldn't attack, then it was a 2 out of 5 chance to hit something that could actually attack. So Kalispera takes the lead 2-1, and we're gonna jump straight into the next match. Now this is Kalispera's last deck. It's the salmon deck that both he and the Lufen Park are championing for Elysian Gaming. Actually, Elysian Gaming, one of the only teams that really loves their salmon build. They have a really good salmon list, and they bring that to every tournament, so they kind of polish it over time, and we can see that they're having some spectacular results with it. So yeah, Kalispera is gonna start. His hand is not so great, but still acceptable. However, Joker's hand is actually one of the best druid openings one could ask for. So he's gonna coin out a wild growth that can only mean one thing, and that is that he has a Shade of Noxramance in his hand, which he's gonna be able to play on his next turn. And yeah, Joker has an insane start right now. Let's see if Kalispera can win this game. Then this is actually really insane at the moment. So Kalispera is gonna roll it on them. Meanwhile, Joker is gonna go ahead and be 1 mana in front of his opponent, ahead of his opponent. He's gonna silence the spider. Let's see if he wants to trade. He doesn't wish to trade, so he's challenging Kalispera to have an immediate answer to his board right now, or actually play something that he may not be able to deal with. If Kalispera fails to do so, then Joker is gonna run away with this game. If Kalispera doesn't find an answer quickly, if Kalispera doesn't have we see him having a pilot shredded on the board. He can choose to play those, but the thing is, the difference between Joker reaching 5, 6, and 7 mana first is gonna show in the next couple of turns. So right now, Joker is gonna be the first one to reach 5 mana. He's gonna play Druid of the Claw on taunt mode, or maybe use Wrath to trade. Okay, he has a swipe, and I'm not really sure why he would do that. Maybe he's afraid of. Okay, that's really not. That's a peculiar. Let's say that is a peculiar 4-drop to get, and I'm really sure Joker doesn't want to get rid of the Lord Courtyard, so because that means that his opponent will not be able to play any spells. Like Druid having one of Salmon spells is actually really huge, because Salmon has more removal than Druid, and his removal is way more efficient than Swipe and Wrath. So Pilot Shredder is gonna be the play for Kalispera, who is gonna pass his turn doing nothing else, and play is gonna go back to Joker, who is gonna use Tosley to get a spare part. He gets an armor plating, not the spare part that I believe he was looking for. Maybe he will use that to force a better trade or something in the future. He will not reveal his Shade. Most likely he's gonna keep his Shade hidden until he can combo off with Force of Nature and Savage Roar. So yeah, play is gonna go switch back to Kalispera, who will use the Fire Elemental and the Pilot Shredder to take care of Tosley. And Tosley actually very hard to kill minion, and you get something in return, and he gets a Rusty Horn, which could prove to be really useful in the following turn. So right now, Joker is faced with. Okay, so right now, what Joker can do is actually reveal his Shade, kill the Lore Walker, so play an Azure Drake and innervate out Swipe and clear his opponent's board. And I believe that he will be forced to do that. Of course, he's going to start with. He's going to start by drawing a card. That means that he has more options to play with. Another option would be innovating out scenarios. However, that would mean leaving his opponent's Zap-O-Matic on the board, and a minion with Wind Fury, a Salmon board, it can actually mean a lot of damage. So yeah, Joker is gonna go ahead, play this or Drake, find a second swipe, and you may not want to innovate first. You don't want to give your druid opponent. Okay, he's gonna do that. He's gonna give his druid opponent an innovate and a swipe. He doesn't want to reveal the Sade just yet. Okay, he's gonna get a full board clear. However, right now Kalispera has an innovate and a swipe in his hand, and he's gonna go face. Yeah, okay, so that actually makes a lot of sense. So yeah, what Joker is basically saying to Kalispera is, okay, if you wanna use the spells that I just gave you, okay, I'm gonna get a copy of them back, and they're really valuable to me because I don't have any spare copies of them. Of course, Kalispera is gonna play a flame totem and trade the Lord Watcher. So with the Keeper of the Grove, then use the swipe that he got from the Lord Watcher on the previous turn, and then use the innovate. And I believe he's gonna play either a Golem or a Feral Spirit. So let's see what Kalispera is going to play. He's thinking about it. It's not the easiest choice in the world. So he's innovating out of Feral Spirits. And let's see what he gets. Let's see what Joker gets. Really sorry. His Sade has grown out of proportions lately, and let's see, Swipe can take care of one of the wolves. However, the same cannot be said for the second wolf. Like, he needs a Druid of the Claw into charge mode, then innovate out a Swipe, then use the remaining mana on an armor plating that's going to be equipped on his Druid of the Claw. Okay, yeah. However, I'm not really sure how this is helpful against the Fire Elemental. Yeah. And he's now actually thinking about revealing that Sade. Of course, that makes the Sade vulnerable to a potential Earth Shock. Let's see if Joker thinks that 7 damage is worth risking your Sade of Naxxramas. And yeah, he finds that perfectly acceptable. So it's, 7 damage for potential Earth Shock, and Kalispera may not even have that, as this is the case. So Kalispera is going to be forced to use double Rock Biter weapon on his Flame Totem, and that will make the Flame Totem trade with the Sade of Naxxramas. And both players really low on cards, but we see that Kalispera has a Neptulon in his hand. However, he's the one with a 16 life, and not so many options. And I would really like. Okay, so Joker has a really nice turn for scenarios right now, and I do believe that he will not find a better opportunity to play 9 mana costs, 9 mana minion. So he's gonna use Rusty Horn on Lotheb, and he's gonna go face with the Tiger and get his opponent into combo range and pass the turn to Kalispera, who I believe has to play a Taunt or a Fire Elemental to contest the board. He may even try to play Neptulon and find a Malok that can, deal with Lotheb, but okay, yeah, just playing a fire elemental is a bit more clear. So Joker is gonna draw and play a Dr. Boom, and he's just gonna pressuring his opponent's face with the Panther, who right now has dealt 12 points of damage. And Kalispera is now left with 7 life, and I don't think he will be able to win this game because he can take care. Okay, he's gonna roll the totem first. Okay, it's a Stoneclaw totem, and let's see. He has to use a Power Mace, and he has to attack. Okay, he's gonna attack the Tiger. He's gonna attack the Panther with the Power Mace, and okay. Let's see if he plays Feral Spirits. And if he doesn't, he's dead on board. If he's dead, not on board, but he's dead. Okay, he plays Feral Spirits, and what Joker is gonna do is actually play scenarios and buff both the bombs and then trade with the Feral Spirits. Okay, and he does exactly that. So play goes back to Kalispera, who has an Azure Drake and the top deck's a Lightning Storm, and I don't know how he can win this. However, he can win. Okay. Oh. He's not gonna. Okay, he's lost. Yeah. The result was peculiar, but you know, still he lost. So, we're gonna have Kalispera going down, and it's 2 games for both players. Yeah, so both. Huh? Okay. Joker's gonna win the series. No. Okay, so it's 2-2 for both players. Yeah. I was confused for a second. So yeah, both players have 2 win seats, and we're gonna head to the final game. This is gonna be game 5, and it's gonna be a salmon mirror match. So let's see who's the salmon master right now. And you know, this game is all about board control. Board control in the salmon mirror means that you're gonna be able to turn your flame totem into value, and you're gonna snowball that eventually into a big burst turn that's gonna win you the game. Bursty turn that's gonna win you the game. Yeah, so both players with the zombie toe in their open hand, a very crucial one drop in order to be able to deal effectively with the totems. So Joker is gonna start his turn by playing the zombie toe. Kalispera is gonna play zombie toe of his own and pass the turn back. Now Joker is gonna either roll a totem or use the orb by the weapon to take care of his opponent's, you know, totem killer. However, that means that if he does so, Kalispera is gonna be able to play a zombie toe. Fire Spirit. So Joker is gonna go. It's gonna go ahead and attack his opponent's face and pass the turn. Kalispera is gonna draw an Alakil Windlord. Let's see if he wants to coin out a Harvest Golem. That's gonna be followed by Feral Spirits on his next turn. So yeah, he coins out the Golem, trades the zombie tail with the totem, and passes the turn back to Joker, who finds a Lightning Storm, one of the key cards in this matchup. Actually, the player who is able to, you know, better use his Lightning Storm is often the winner of this match. So Joker is going to use his remaining mana to play Rock by the Weapon on himself and trade with the Harvest Golem and the damaged Golem with the Zombie Tail. Now, on Kalispera's turn, he's going to trade the Stoneclaw Totem, and not really sure if he wants to play Feral Spirits into a potential Flametongue Totem, but I don't believe he has anything, you know, better to do with his mana, and he needs to play something on turn 3 so that he will not be overloaded on turn 5. He doesn't have a turn 4 play, so yeah, right now if he could squeeze some removal in, like maybe an Earth Soak or another totem, then that would be really nice. If he rolls a healing totem, then I believe this is actually really good. Yeah. Okay, so right now Kalispera is gonna try his luck, roll a totem. He rolls a spell damage totem, not the one that he was looking for, and very wisely he is gonna damage his zombie toe, and right now make it as hard as possible for Joker to kill his zombie toe. So he's gonna attack the 1/1 totem, the one attack one defense totem. Then he's gonna go face, a very wise option. He see that since he doesn't want his opponent to get 2 guys to potentially abuse with Flametongue Totem. So yeah. So he's gonna roll, he finds a Searing Totem, then he's gonna use Lightning Storm, most likely Lightning Storm. He's gonna kill everything, yeah. He's gonna kill everything. And that's one Lightning Storm used for Joker, who now has the advantage on the board. However, Kalispera will have an opportunity to, you know, retaliate by playing an Azure Drake of his own and challenging his opponent to have an out of that. And we see that Kalispera is playing Harrison Jones, one of the many key cards in this matchup. However, I'm not really sure that Joker plays any weapons in his salmon deck. So he's going to use his second Rock by the Weapon and roll a totem, play another zombie tail, and go face with the spiders. Pass the turn back to Kalispera, who has 6 mana available, and Dr. Boom coming on his next turn. So most likely what he's going to do is roll a totem, play a power mace, and take care of the zombie tail. yeah, most likely, so let's say, yeah. So, what Kalispera will be able to do on his next turn is use the Power Mace to take care of, one of Joker's guys and actually have it buff Boombot. So, Joker is gonna play an Azure Drake of his own, he's gonna take care of the Stone Cloud Totem or another totem that's gonna be Healing Totem. And he's gonna pass the turn back to Kalispera, who finds a Rock Biter weapon, not that useful right now. And yeah, most likely we're gonna see we can see Hex. Hex is not that bad. I mean, the Dr. Boom is just the better play right now. So yeah, he's gonna play Dr. Boom and use the Power Mace to trade with the Searing Totem. The bomb is gonna buff one of the bots, and Play's gonna go back to Joker, finds it, here's a mistake. It's gonna use the Chemical, gonna find the Searing Totem. And he's gonna Hex Dr. Boom, of course. He's gonna make the trades. Let's see. Okay, Azure Drake. Azure Drake trading into the 3/3 bomb is actually something that that Joker is interested in. Yeah. So really, he trades into the 3/3 bomb. The bomb kills something else. Now, basically, the bad targets for Joker would be his dragon and the Healing Totem. So yeah, not for Joker to do other than play Feral Spirits. Let's see if he wishes to do so. Yeah, he's gonna play Feral Spirits, gets 2 wolves, and passes the turn back to Kalispera, who has yet to find his own Lightning Storm. As we said before, a very crucial card in this matchup. So right now, what Joker will do is most likely, what Kalispera can do is he can try to roll a spell damage totem, then Ice Shocks his opponent's Drake. He has the option of using Galaki the Windlord, of course, just trade with his opponent's wolves. However, that means that he no longer has any burst damage. Kalispera is going to use Galaki in order to gain the advantage he needs, so he's going to go ahead and attack the Drake. And the bomb is going to kill the Drake, so yeah, a really good turn for Kalispera. However, Joker has the answer form of the Fire Elemental. He doesn't need to spend his Black Knight. And yeah, the Holy Creeper is going to hit Sam in the face, and Play is going to shift back to Kalispera, who finds Flame Dog Totem, however with no Alki the Windlord to, abuse it. So I think that Kalispera has to play Sylvanas this turn. He can Hex his opponent's Fire Elemental, but I don't believe that. Okay, he can play Sylvanas and Earthshock his opponent. No, he doesn't want to Earthshock his opponent's spiders, yeah. Not yet, at least. So let's see what Kalispera will decide to do. So he will use Earthshock to take care of the spiders, and most likely Hex his opponent's Fire Elemental, I guess. Not that bad of a play. And considering the fact that, Kalispera hasn't seen one of his Lightning Storms yet. No, he has actually. Yeah. No, or was this a previous game? Guessing, yeah, it was a previous game, yeah. Okay. So, let's see if he wants to use Hex. He's gonna think long and hard about it, but I believe that he will be forced to use Hex in the end. Yeah, okay, he's using Hex on Fire Elemental, and he passes the turn to Joker, who's gonna find the Azure Drake, crucial card at this point in the game, as he's not only gonna provide a baddie, but he's also gonna be drawing a card for Joker. So he's playing a Tizen Mystic, and he's passing the turn into what could potentially be the first Lightning Storm for Kalispera in this game. However, Kalispera doesn't find the Lightning Storm. He finds his second Flame Totem in a row. And what Kalispera can do is actually Rock Biter weapon, weapon, attack the frog, then double Flame Tongue Totem into the spell damage totem and kill the Drake. It is not the best trade, but it's one of his options. Another option would be to, just use Sylvanas. Just use Sylvanas, a Flame Tongue Totem, and roll another totem. If you get a Stormclaw Totem, then make it so that both the spell damage totem and the Stormclaw Totem have taunt. So let's see what Kalispera will decide to do. Let's see if he goes with the Sylvanas play. He's gonna summon a totem. This is gonna be a Stormclaw Totem. He's gonna play Sylvanas and most likely use Flame Tongue Totem. So his opponent has already used Hex, so he's gonna play Sylvanas and let's see, nothing else. So yeah, he passes the turn back and Joker draws an Alki of the Windlord. So let's see. Black Knight is going to be used, well, at least Joker thinks he can use Black Knight. Now it's one of his options, and their life totals are both, really high, so nobody is going to be dying anytime soon. Let's see if Joker wants to use the Feral Spirit that he has in his hand. So Joker is thinking about either using Feral Spirits, Black Knight, or both of them. The problem being that he hasn't seen a single Lightning Storm, if I'm not mistaken again. He hasn't seen a single Lightning Storm from his opponent's side of the board. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use Black Knight and then attack the spell damage totem, and no, really dang about using this his Feral Spirit. I'm gonna Feral Spirits, okay. Gets 2 wolves and ships the turn back to Kalispera, yeah. Who finds a Lightning Storm, so let's see if Kalispera can roll a spell damage totem. A really huge Lightning Storm right now, and he doesn't, so he's gonna roll Lightning Storm, and let's see how high he rolls. So he clears the whole of his opponent's board apart from the Black Knight, and he's gonna go face and most likely outshock the Drake. Yeah, okay, use Rockbiter to completely take control of the board, and that's actually what happens in the Summon Mirror if one of the players overextend. However, Joker overextending was actually justified up to some point. He now finds an Earthshock, so he's gonna roll a totem and most likely pass the turn at this point. Yeah, most likely pass the turn at this point, so yeah. He may choose to play a Fire Elemental and, deal 1 damage to his opponent's totem, deal 3 damage to either his opponent's totem or his opponent's face. I'm not really sure if that's worth it, especially considering the fact that you have an Alakir in your hand and you may want to use the Earthshock in order to be able to trade Sylvanas. So yeah, let's see what Joker decides is best for him. So really crucial turn, this one. He's gonna play Fire Elemental, get rid of the Flame Tongue Totem, pass the turn back to Kalispera, who finds a Hex of his own, and most likely he's gonna use this Hex to take care of Joker's Fire Elemental so that his advantage, of course, doesn't die. And he's gonna play Harrison Jones just to have a body on the board. Okay, he's gonna roll a totem. Finds the spell damage totem, the pass the turn back to Joker, who finds the Defender of Argus. And I believe that right now the best play Joker has is Earthshock Sylvanas, trade the totem into Sylvanas, then Alakir, then use the Divine Shield of Alakir to trade with the silence advantage. So yeah, let's see if Joker will choose to take that line of play, choose to follow that line of play, or if maybe he considers something else. No, I believe this to be the better line of play. Yeah, so he's gonna silence Sylvanas, then use the Divine Shield on Alakir and Totem to trade with Sylvanas, and then trade with the Totem. So very productive turn for Joker right now. And Kalispera is gonna draw a Fire Elemental of his own. He's gonna roll a Totem, he finds a Healing Totem, and then he's gonna play a Fire Elemental and target. He's gonna play a Fire Elemental and most likely target his opponent's face. Maybe he can think. Okay, so he's thinking about the potential that there is into killing Alakir with Flametalk Totem next turn. Of course, we know that this is most likely not going to happen, since his opponent is going to play a Pirate Shredder and use Defender of Argus, and he's going to press for 8 damage. Very strong play by Joker. So play shifts back to Kalispera, who right now has the option of using double Fire Elemental, Flametalk Totem, in order to kill Alakir the Windlord. So he's going to start his turn by rolling the Totem. Then he's gonna use here's a Stormclaw Totem, yeah. So he's gonna use his Flametongue Totem to buff both totems. Let's see how he wants to place the second Flametongue Totem. And okay, he's gonna do it like that. And right now he's going to trade with he wants to trade with the Pilot Strider. So Joker gets in 1-8 seat, not the best card right now. And Fire Elemental is going to trade with Alakir the Windlord, so a Haunted Creeper is going to be played, and that's all of Kalispera's turn. Joker draws a Hex of his own. Kalispera left with 12 health right now. And yeah, he's gonna roll a Totem, find a spell damage Totem, and he's actually not going to be able to clear Kalispera's board. So he's gonna trade Defender of Argus. He's gonna cross Defender of Argus into the Stormclaw Totem. Then he will choose to. He has to choose the target that 1-8 seat is going to attack into. I'm thinking most likely Fire Elemental, because even if he hexes the Fire Elemental, then the Totem is still, still buffing the frog. So yeah. If he plays Doomhammer, then he might consider going face, but not really sure he does. There's still Crackle left in his deck, so that's one of the cards that can get him out of this. So yeah, but in the end he's going to choose to trade with the Fire Elemental. He's going to pass the turn, or maybe he's going to hex him. Okay, he's targeting his opponent's face with a hex. Okay, not really sure. Yeah, no target worth hexing, and Kalispera is gonna roll a Totem again, finds a Healing Totem, and actually clears his opponent's whole board. And I do believe that Kalispera is right now the favorite to win this game. He just clears his opponent's board. And goes face. The Healing Totem heals his Flametalk Totem, and yeah, I don't see how Joker can come back from this. Like, Kalispera can trade with all of his minions every turn. So yeah, Hex is gonna be used on Fire Elemental. Of course, the mistake that Kalispera was referring to is actually not playing the Fire Elemental in between the two totems, and Kalispera top decks and Epsilon. So yeah, crucial top deck. That may have, that seals the game in Kalispera's favor. Kalispera is gonna trade with all of his opponent's guy. He doesn't really care because he has the totem, and Epsilon is gonna give him 4 new Murlocs, and he gets some really good ones. He gets the Spirit Caller and the Old Merkai, so he's gonna have plays for days, as they call it. So he considers playing a Grimskin Oracle, decides against that, and I believe this to be very important. So here top decks Lightning Storm, however Lightning Storm is not gonna take care of Neptulon, so he rolls his Stoneclaw Totem, and let's see if he wants to roll a Lightning Storm as well. He's thinking about, not playing the Lightning Storm, however I'm not sure he can do that. Let's see if one of the Flame Tongue survives. No Flame Tongue Totem survives. Everything that could have died is dead to Lightning Storm, and Play Swift back to Kalispera, who I believe will now surely go about winning this game. He will play out his whole hand and set up a potential lethal next turn. So this is the last turn for Joker, who top decks Defender of Argus. He's gonna use his hero power, gets a totem, well plays his opponent, and this is the end of the game. Kalispera is gonna be the winner of this long matchup, and he's gonna advance to the finals on the back of his Old Merkai. So yeah, an amazing victory for Kalispera. Okay, so guys, welcome back. Nick Bulbasakos, and boy, what a match that was. Kalispera with these grinding victories. All of Kalispera's victories have been, these matches where he seems to be in front, he seems to be losing, then manages to come back, then he seems to be losing again, then he actually manages to stabilize the board in the end. And, this has been his whole day. I mean, it's exhausting. And it's currently 12 o'clock here in Athens, and yeah, I really cannot imagine how a player can, keep this high level of play, of technical play for so long, especially with not your typical easy Hearthstone decks. So yeah, right now Kalispera will go on to face Genji Koopa Troopa in the finals of the 12 Athens Brawler Zine. Both players will compete for a total of 15 Blizzard Hearthstone World Championship points, Brawler points, plus the grand prize of 130 euros for the winner and 50 euros for second place. So once again, we would like to thank our sponsors that made this event possible. And guys, we're going to take a small break and be right back with the grand finals of this event. So stay tuned, we'll be back with more Hearthstone. Okay, so guys, welcome back. I'm Nick Bulbasakos, and today for the first time I have with me a guy who speaks English way better than I do. Hello, buddy.
Hello, I'm Buddy, guys.
Okay, so is the nickname on purpose, like, hello, buddy, and stuff? Is it on purpose?
No, actually, Buddy is written with ADI, and
Okay.
it's actually from chess, from Bad Bishop, which is like a term in chess.
Oh, okay,
I just
okay.
altered it a bit, and it's Buddy.
So it's like the players who put the name of their favorite game in the battle tag and actually competed Hearthstone using that. Okay, didn't know that. I actually learned something today. That's
Yeah.
really
Everybody thinks it's like the Buddy with you.
Yeah,
but it's not.
Okay, so right now you are of course the newest member of Razor's Edge Gaming.
Yep.
You're qualified for the VA Game House Cup in Sweden. But
27th of March.
yeah, so you have a big tournament ahead of you. But before we go into that, we have ourselves the finals of the 12 Athens LAN Brawlers in. And did you get? This was your first Brawlers in, right? The
No,
first
I've,
LAN Brawlers in.
I've played once again.
Oh, okay,
I got
yeah.
into the semifinals. This is my second one.
This is your second one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. How did you enjoy this one? I mean, we made some changes.
Yeah, I think that like the recent changes have made like the tournament really competitive. We see more
Okay.
players, and they're like willing to play for the win. It's the Blizzcon points. It's the main event. We'll have
Okay.
very many big names of the Hearthstone scene.
Are you familiar with the guys in the finals? We have Kalispera against Genji Kupatruba.
I actually. I've heard of Kalispera. I know he's like a really methodic, steady,
he
stable
likes to take
player.
his time.
Yes, and I know Kupa Trupa because we were basically like in school together.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We're not like really close friends, but I know him from there. So
Okay, so you know him. You know him
from
like
outside Hearthstone.
Yeah, okay. So the players are ready. They're going to begin in a few seconds. So why didn't we take?
It's interesting to say that like the
Yeah.
two players met again in the winners bracket.
Okay, yeah.
Kupa Trupa was the winner, 3-2.
Okay, so this is a grad match. Like,
Yeah, it's a
Kalispera
grad
has to
match,
win.
like there was some dudes here coming out of the pilot strategy.
Oh yeah, I heard
in
of the story.
last game.
Yeah, it was actually Kalispera. So for the viewers back home, Kalispera played the turn where he used Pilot Shredder. He was basically
He was winning the last game, best of 5, like it was 2-2 last game, and the pilot strategy like got a Doomsayer.
And yeah, this is actually really hard to come back from. Yeah. Okay, so both players are going to start, and we have what seems to be a Handlock
Yeah,
deck.
it's a handlock.
Okay, judging
I
that
followed him.
Molten Giant, yeah, and against an Oilorg. So, why didn't you walk us through, how this matchup is supposed to play out? Like, who's the favorite in this one?
Yep. In my opinion, like handlock has like always had like good matchup against Rogue.
Okay, yeah.
This is not exactly the case against like the older Rogue. We see like that there are some chances, but if it all depends whether he will draw the answers for the big threats of the handlock.
Okay, I really find it very difficult to win if I'm playing Handlock when my opponent goes, okay, turn 4, prep into sprint, yeah, and they have basically all the answers that they need.
For the giants.
Yeah. So right now it seems that there is no giant in Kupatrupa's hand, who's gonna just use his hero power and pass the turn. Now, if you're the rogue player, you see no sign of a sprint. So how do you navigate your turns based on the fact that you have no sprint on the 4th turn?
I think that all the fact with Rogue is like you need to have a lot of value out of your blade flurries, but you need to apply the exact pressure not to get him like into molten rage.
Okay.
It's like a really hard matchup to play properly, I think.
So you need
One
to
of the
build up
hardest.
into a big weapon, maybe use
Good weapon, good board.
Maybe use a sap attack once and then blade flurry for the for the win. So we're gonna have a coin into a Twilight Drake, and we know Kupatrupa has another Twilight Drake, and this is the actual hard part that you described. Like, if you even answer that one, like if you go Violet Itcher prep, and
You are
then-
wasting resources.
Yeah, and the handlock
damage.
the handlock is never gonna run out of resources because his hero power is actually double the card that you get to draw. Okay, so however that doesn't mean that Kalispera is not gonna do that. He's gonna play Violet Itcher, then prep a sap on the Drake, and the really
You want to gain some tempo with this play.
the really interesting thing to me is that because you have no oil in your hand on the following turn, how do you capitalize on the fact that you just created 2 tokens and basically your opponent's gonna replay it, Drake? He's gonna Mortal Coin and play it again.
Yeah, I think since he has no oil, he focuses at first to build like a minion-based board,
Okay.
so as to apply some pressure. Since his weapons don't look so promising right now, but now like this Hellfire was pretty strong. I
Yeah, so
think.
Kubatuba made the correct call,
Yeah.
like not let him trade his tokens for actual minions. So he plays Pilot Shredder. Do you like Shredder in those kind of oil rocks?
I actually like Shredder. I've thought about it a lot. I've we've talked with Kirst a lot about this thing, whether it's Pilot Shredder or Van Cleef, a better option.
Yeah.
I think Pilot Shredder is more versatile because you can just play it like a body on turn 4.
Yeah, you can actually point it out
Yes.
and not feel bad about
It's
it.
like a good body, what Rogue wants. The Van Cleef is actually quite situational for my taste. It needs like a good hand with some good combos to
Yeah,
get like a 6/6.
many things to go right. You're gonna
Yeah.
not having an answer to
So,
it.
in my opinion, I prefer the Shredder.
Okay.
It's a matter of taste.
And right now Shredder seems to be putting on,
That was a nice top deck actually.
Yeah, of
Giant.
course. But right now, even if he uses, two resources that we talked about, like if he uses, actually, does he have lethal?
Yeah,
already?
he has like a really.
Okay, so he has 7 damage, 9 damage, and
That was-
7
it's
is
lethal,
lethal.
it's
Yeah,
lethal.
okay, so
So that was not a really good top deck.
okay, yeah. So Galispera is gonna take this match, and he's gonna start this final series with 1-0 lead.
So we saw that like Kalispera draw the sap, which was really important on turn
Yeah,
4.
yeah,
He gained a lot of tempo out of this play.
And now that I think about it, I've never seen a rogue lose a match where he went turn 4, Violet Teacher prep
sap.
into sap. Yeah, it's very tempo play. Really gains.
And
you a
probably
lot
these
of
tempo plays
yeah.
are even more important than prep sprint in this matchup.
Okay, yeah.
Because like you need to
Pressure the opponent.
pressure,
handle,
fast.
Okay, so what do you think Pivotova is gonna use right now? Is he gonna keep his Warlock or is he gonna?
We know
switch?
that Kalispera is running a shaman
Yeah, we
who
saw
has
that.
like a really good matchup with Handlock. So I guess he's not gonna risk the shaman getting this free win.
Okay, yeah. So
It's like the part of the mind games. If you're Koopa Troopa, you don't want to like face this matchup. But if you change, you risk your opponent changing deck as well. That's the fun fact about Conquest. It's all about
it's all about the mind games.
mind games of
yeah.
picks.
You do not actually want to
I
give
think
your
I
opponent
would
a free
change
win.
deck if I was a Koopa Troopa.
Okay, yeah.
And he did, yeah.
Okay,
I
so
did.
we're gonna see Salmon Mirror again, and as we said before, it's all about the board presence. Like
Yes.
whoever has the Lightning Storm first wins. Whoever plays the Lightning Storm correctly wins.
And whoever rolls better in the
Okay, yeah, of course. That's Hearthstone actually.
Yeah.
The first ever game that I watched Deathler play was a Salmon Mirror, and he used Lightning Storm to roll 4. I think it was 4 on 3 different targets, and take control of the whole game. It was actually insane. So Kalispera, both players will mirror each other's play and have a Haunted Creeper down by turn 2. So. Yeah, if you're Koopa Troopa, do you want to throw down that Manatite Totem and force your opponent to deal with?
I don't think so. It's an easy threat. I think you want to throw the Manatite Totem when it has at least a potential of drawing
More than
the cycle. Yeah.
Okay. So you want to throw a Manatite Totem
After probably playing the Feral Spirits.
Okay, yeah. So we're talking about something like a turn 5 Manatite Totem, most likely.
Turn 6, bro.
Yeah, turn 4 you can play Feral Spirits on turn 4, and then you have an overload of 2, so you get 3 mana on the following turn. But
I guess he will play like the Feral Spirits and probably like even Rockbiter, one of the.
he can Feral Spirits, then work by the one on his face, another trade Wolf, most likely. So yeah, do you
It's
have
all
any
about board
pointers?
control,
How much of a Salmon fan are you? Like, have you practiced the class a lot?
I was really a fan of Double Doomhammer Salmon that Shavit had introduced some time ago. Until then, like some seasons ago, I haven't really played Shaman. Like after GVG, I don't think like
Salmon is well positioned.
he's coming back again, but I think he didn't have like the cards that
would make it go above all the other decks.
all the other decks.
Like say Mechmage actually has a better.
Mex didn't help him.
Yeah. And Mechmage actually has a better early game than you, and he's the aggro deck, so that really speaks volumes as to how bad your early game cards are. Of course,
and there are so many strong mid-range decks at the moment, so Salmon is also a mid-range deck.
Yeah, it's actually the fact that Feral Spirits used to be one of the better 3-drops just because you got 2-3 taunters out of the deal, and right now even Mechmates has a Spider Tank which actually trades with the full Feral Spirit.
Actually, still many players don't run Feral Spirits. Like they want to run the weapon, the
Power Mace.
The Power Mace instead, with some Harvest Golems for 3-drops instead of the Ferals. But I like the Ferals. Like they make the Druid matchup really
I think
really
that
good. And it's more bodies.
Okay, so right now, do you consider using? No, I guess you don't. Using the Orc by the weapon on your Soul Feral Spirit in order to trade with his Feral Spirit.
I think Manatite is like now is the time to play the Manatite Totem. I think.
Yeah, so it's turn 5 Manatite Totem, and you can actually play the Manatite Totem and clear your opponent's Feral Spirits.
It's
I'm
like,
not really sure you want to do that.
I think Koopa Troopa knows that his opponent has kept the coin, and like a Manatite Totem would like be running to coin
Fire Elemental. Yeah, so
and probably that's why he's choosing like to pressure, because it would.
Okay, so
Still, I think this will be the play. Yeah, and he will like
but
probably.
like right now.
Bad news.
Okay, so if he coins out the Fire Elemental, then that means that next turn
He won't play the boom.
Yeah, and of course Koopa Troopa next turn can, roll the totem of his own, and then, no, he's not gonna roll the totem, he's gonna rock by the weapon and trade, and then maybe play a Manatite Totem, because the chances of your opponent having a second Fire Elemental are actually not that high.
That's probably what he's going for. Oh, he's going for Crackle?
Okay.
He does want to use the...
Okay, I guess, okay.
I'm not sure I like this play a lot, because like with Rock Barrier you could also play the Manatite as well.
Yeah,
because Crackle costs 2 mana and Rock Barrier is 1.
It's like, I'm really sure Koopa Troopa has...
he thinks his opponent has like a Lightning Storm or...
Maybe he values the, Aliki combo a whole lot more than, what we actually give it credit for in this matchup. So, however, Kalispera is going to use the Rock by the weapon, take care of his